Hey guys, my name's Caitlin, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you guys with another romance recommendations video, this time for the best friend's brother trope. I have 6 books that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today, and if you haven't read any of them, please let me know down below if you're going to be adding any to your TBR, or if you have read them, let me know your thoughts. The first book on this list is Fling by Balin Crow. Now this is mentioned as being book 1 in a series, but there are no others released so far. But I do have my fingers crossed that we are going to get at least a book 2. Hayden has been crushing on his best friend's older brother for such a long time, but he knows that Dean sees him as nothing more than his kid sister's best friend, or at least he did until Dean came home from college one summer and realized that Hayden is all grown up. Dean knows that his little sister's best friend is supposed to be 100% off limits, but the way that they feel for each other is just way too strong to ignore. This was meant to be a chill, relaxing summer, and what Dean and Hayden had was never meant to be anything more than a fling. But of course, nothing is ever that easy. I listed this book on 2 of my other Goodreads shelves, the first being that it gave me very high expectations because I absolutely adore the relationship between these 2 characters. The second shelf being that it has a very good makeup scene. I am a sucker for good makeup scenes, hence why I have an entire Goodreads shelf dedicated to them. Book 2 is Merry Measure by Lily Morton, and this is a standalone. Arlo kind of figured out that he was gay when he first saw his older brother's best friend all decked out and sweaty in his football gear, and then he promptly went and knocked himself out on a table. Arlo and Jack's relationship hasn't really changed since that moment. Arlo is still incredibly clumsy, and Jack is still very handsome and equally as unattainable. But things look like they might be taking a turn when the 2 of them find themselves sharing a bedroom while on holiday in Amsterdam for Christmas. Can someone say forced proximity? Other than that, I've listed this book on 3 of my Goodreads shelves, being Christmas because it is set in December, on my 2020 favorites shelf because this was one of my favorite books that I read last year, and also Feel Good. It is definitely a feel-good romance, very low angst and guaranteed happily ever after. Now, book 3, I feel like I've mentioned this series so much recently, and I apologize, I am going to do it again, but this is Power Plays and Straight A's by Eden Finley and Saxon James. It is the first book in the CU Hockey series. It is a 5-book series, and book 5 is coming out next month, and I am so stoked. If you haven't heard of this series yet, I will just mention that each of the books does follow a different couple, however they are all set around the same university. Foster Grant's brother asked him for one favor: look out for his best friend when he moves to a new college campus, and for the love of God, do not hit on him. Should be easy, right? Even though Foster's always thought that Zach was cute, he has his eye on an NHL contract after graduation and cannot afford any distractions. But keeping his hands off of Zach turns out to be a little bit harder than he thought it would be. There are 4 other shelves that I've listed this book on. We have Athletes because one of our main characters is a hockey player. We also have Feel Good because it's a feel-good romance. First Time because one of our characters is a virgin and set in college. Book 3 on this list is Secret Amara by DJ Jamison, and this is book 1 in a trilogy where each book follows a different couple. After being stood up by a date, Benji is feeling a little bit down, and so to try and cheer him up, Ace starts leaving him these little romantic notes from a secret admirer just to try and make him smile. What started as just a small mission to make Benji feel better has turned to Ace coming to terms with his bisexuality, as well as his increasing feelings for his best friend's brother. And now all that's left to do is to tell Benji who his secret admirer really is. I have 5 other shelves that I marked this book as, the first being Awakened Sexuality. It's also a feel-good romance. There is a first-time scene in this book. It is a friends to lovers, and it's also set in college. Book 5 on this list is Brother-in-Law Material by Crystal Lacey, and this is also a standalone. When Kendall walks into his apartment to find his boyfriend in the act of cheating on him, he runs to the one person that he can rely on, which is his sister. But his sister's actually away on a business trip, which means that Kendall finds himself temporarily rooming with her super hot and equally nice boyfriend, Luke. They both know that the other should definitely be off limits, but after spending so much time together, resisting their chemistry is next to impossible. And when Kendall finds out that Luke and his sister are actually faking their relationship, and Luke's actually available, all bets are off. I listed this book on 2 other of my Goodreads shelves, being Failed Casual Relationships and also Roommates. The 6th and final book on this list is Picture Love by Ariella Zoel. This is book 6 in her Good Bad Idea series, but each book can be read as a standalone and follows a different couple. When Felix heads off on a solo trip to Paris, his best friend's older brother Arsène offers to play tour guide while he's there. Arsène just so happens to be a shameless flirt, and Felix figures that there's no harm in having a little bit of fun while he's overseas. Little does he know that Arsène has been warned not to break Felix's heart, but it might not be Felix's heart that's in danger. I listed this book on 3 other Goodreads shelves, the first being Age Gap, the second being A Failed Casual Relationship, and the third being Feel Good. Ariella Zoel is so good at writing feel good, low angst romances, so if you're in the mood for that, you could read literally any of her books. Alrighty, those are the 6 best friends brother romances that I was recommending to you guys today. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have already read them or if you're going to add them to your TBR. I would love to know. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below if you'd like to see similar content. Again, my name is Caitlin. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week in another video.